of the Ace and TJ radio family.
Go.
This is launch control.
Let's synchronize, shall we?
Ace, TJ, Riggins, Alexis, Tech D Rob.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Let's go! Live from the Calitrin Studios, this is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Well, I guess where we live, cold weather is gone. It's in the 50s this morning, got up high 60s yesterday, so that means that we're in spring now. I will declare spring. You gonna be hot in that hoodie, Riggins.
Oh no, I brought in my winter jacket. It was kind of chilly this morning, but it was raining a little bit.
It's chilly in here.
Yeah, it is cold in here.
Well, I got here this morning. It was really stuffy, so we had the air on, and it takes about 30 seconds for the air to just blow you out of this room now. So
it was cold.
It was a little crazy, yeah.
Yeah, usually toward the beginning of the show, or at the beginning of the show, I'll text Rob one of my sweet messages that says warmer or colder, please, cooler, please. And then about 10 minutes later, I'll say warmer, please. Yeah. But this morning, walk in, it's cooler already.
Yeah,
Wow.
You're welcome. I took care of that because it was kind of stuffy, and I was like, Rob kicked that on, and it took about 30 seconds. And Riggins walked in and goes, "It's freezing." I was like, "Yeah, it's cold in here."
Yeah, he's always very courteous. He always says please with it.
Mm-hmm.
I always say please. Of course, I would.
I wasn't saying like either one of you. I wasn't saying anything bad about you, just that.
I'll say it. They're rude.
Sorry, I make a point to not be rude. Rob, would you please turn the air up for me a little bit?
But I'm just saying that I enjoy having the authority to declare a new season has started, but it's not something I take lightly. So just know that.
So you're now, TJ, then officially declaring what? Spring?
Yeah,
here?
it's spring. Yeah.
Did the groundhog see his shadow or anything on the other day? Is he wrong this time?
Oh, I don't know.
It doesn't matter, Rob.
attention.
TJ just declared spring is here. So
I was trying to see if he was right as well.
The groundhog thing is I love that because it's just fun for the people, but it has no bearing as to what the seasons are going to do.
Yeah.
My telling you and declaring when a season is over and a new has begun, that's the real deal.
He did say that there would be an early spring, so I mean he found out because of you, I'm assuming, but.
Did you just look that up, Rob?
Yeah, he did. Of course he did.
You juggled that real fast?
I did juggle that.
It's like, no question can be asked without somebody.
Yeah.
I asked the question. I needed the information.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I wonder.
Let me break it down for you. Puxatawny Phil is out. Winfield Richie is in.
I like that. Every year we're now counting on Winfield Richie to do
But you don't want to go back there for a festival.
Yeah, no. And I don't want to have to hold up Winfield Richie over my head for people to see. I can do Puxatawny Phil. Let's see what's trending.
It's not the news, it's more important. Now trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ show.
So a couple of things are happening this morning. We landed on the moon.
How about that?
We landed on the moon. A private company called Intuitive Machines landed near the moon's south pole yesterday, right around 6:30 or so, 6 o'clock. And it's the first time in over 50 years we've been to the moon.
Yeah, this is pretty
Unmanned.
exciting stuff. Check this out.
What we can confirm, without a doubt, is our equipment is on the surface of the moon. Houston, Odysseus has found his new home.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they have 7 days until the way the sun rotates around the moon, or the moon rotates around the sun, rather. They have 7 days to collect all the energy they can from the sun, because then it goes dark and it goes into sub-zero temperatures and all this kind of stuff. So they're like frantically working to get all this stuff done now to get set up and ready.
And from now on, I think that's the only type of steps into space exploration and all that we're going to have that's worth anything, because NASA's not going to do anything else that's important and all, because they're too worried about making sure that all of the woke little pockets of social engineering is taken care of, rather than going up into the moon.
I do believe Neptune voted for Biden last time. So that's probably true. We've got our eyes on you, Neptune.
NASA put all of these policies in place that don't have anything to do with space exploration. It's all about that, yeah.
Stick to space, NASA. Yeah. That's what you're doing.
I'm just saying, it's always better when you hear that a private company did something that the government can't do.
Yeah.
You know,
For
So
sure.
there are 5 countries that have successfully achieved soft landings on the moon. But America is still the only country that has a person who's walked on the moon, I believe.
yeah. But I still don't know why.
Why what?
What are they going? Are they going to build a neighborhood up there? Are they going to,
Well-
are they digging a pond?
Who
Get a good
knows?
fish.
We're going to build a
Space,
fence.
space
Who knows
fish in
what
a
happens
pond?
next? Maybe the moon becomes a vacation destination. Maybe they're going to build up there. Maybe they're going to do a variety of things. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah,
A
well,
lot that could go on.
I mean, we've done a lot so far up there since we landed in 1969.
You have to continue to explore and learn about our world and all these types of things. You just have to. That's what humans are bred to do. You have to do these things.
Well, and I guess I'm falling into that America First argument.
Yeah.
We got so many problems on the planet that we live on, specifically this country, that need taken care of. And then let these other companies do the moon. Take all that NASA money and put it into, sweeping up the streets.
So many good things have come out of the space program that we use every day. So,
Like
Sure, yeah.
pens.
yeah, your microwave, your calculator, your phone, all that kind of stuff is.
I don't use a calculator.
Okay. Anyway, what else is trending, Riggins?
I think NASA's just more Fauci science. Is all that is.
Tyler Perry is trending this morning. Kind of a crazy story. So Tyler Perry has this huge studio in Atlanta, right? And he's investing in Atlanta and he's wanting to hire local actors and really build out this thing. And he had planned an $800 million expansion to the studio. I mean, he's got more money than he knows what to do with. But he's planning this huge expansion. But he said he came into contact with this AI development system, and I forget the name of it. It's called like Rose or Canary or something. And he said, listen, it just became so much easier to type in, hey, I want snow in this scene, rather than to go to a location to film that scene, that it just doesn't make sense to expand $800 million studio in Atlanta because the weather is better there. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, I can do it all digitally with a text message and then it's done. So now people are saying, well, Tyler Perry, we banked on you for like investing in the community and help getting more movies with black actors and things like that. And this seems like he's doing the opposite. So people are very upset with Tyler Perry.
Well, and he didn't learn any of that from space. He figured that out on his own. That didn't have anything to do with space.
That's right.
Very possible not.
That's interesting though, because the whole point, the focal point of this, hey, I'm investing in the community.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe I'm not investing as much in the community. But you can't blame. The flip side of that is you can't blame him. It's his money. He can do what he wants to run his company. So I don't know. I see both sides of that argument.
Yeah.
And you know what? How much does he have to do for the community?
Right.
Because, Tyler Perry has done a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot for several communities, including the way the word community is used originally for Atlanta.
Yeah.
He's done a lot. He's not even from there. He's from New Orleans.
What is it? Yeah, they're
What? Atlanta.
Yeah. This says Tyler Perry employs on busy days as many as just over 5,000 people are employed
God.
by Tyler Perry's companies.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and if he's wanting to do stuff for black actors, then he just needs to switch over to that Google AI system where they don't make white people at all in the AI system.
A lot of
Like
Google
they
stuff
banned
happening.
white people from being AI'd.
They're working on it, though. They said they're going to work on that. It's probably a good idea. But speaking of Tyler Perry, Mea Culpa is out today, and he directed this. This is the new movie on Netflix starring Kelly Rowland. And there's been like so much Kelly Rowland. This can only be good for the movie. If you didn't hear, she like walked out of the Today Show last week, and then she was on local news, and she still doesn't want to talk about it. I think she's handling it so poorly. I can't. Like, she must not have a single PR person in her roster, which is remarkable because she's giving like the worst responses to all that drama. Now, maybe it's good for the movie that she's being kind of standoffish anytime somebody asks her about it. But that movie is on Netflix today. I watched the trailer. It kind of looks like, I don't want to say 50 Shades of Grey, but it's definitely sexy. And then there's lawyers.
Okay. Hold on. That's all. You don't need to say anything else. You got me at Kelly Rowland, and it's a sexy movie.
Yeah,
I'm in.
And she's sexy in it. I don't know that she's a great actress yet.
That's not
From what I
something
can
that
tell.
Tyler Perry requires.
Yeah, he doesn't require.
He doesn't require good actors. He requires actors, but not good actors. You ever seen Medea's Halloween show where
Yeah.
all of the people that he hired in there were YouTube stars and stuff.
Yeah.
It weren't good actors, but it was funny. It was
Yeah.
a good little movie. But
And she's great on those airborne commercials. She's a
Yeah.
great spokesperson.
Yeah.
She's like so likable. So all this drama with her was pretty surprising. But that is out today on Netflix. Guess who was the first person to congratulate Beyonce on having a #1 song on the Billboard Hot 1 Country chart is? Well,
Dolly
not the
Parton.
first, but yes, Dolly Parton.
It has to be.
Yeah.
The only reason it comes up is because Dolly Parton is just still the greatest person on the earth.
She said, I'm a big fan of Beyonce. Very excited that she's done a country album. So congratulations on your Billboard Hot Country #1 single. Can't wait to hear the full album. You know who wasn't as excited to hear about it? Darius Rucker. Did anybody see that video of him at the airport?
No.
A photographer caught up with him and was trying to ask him questions about like, hey, you cross John, which I thought it was a pretty relevant question to ask Darius Rucker. He says, well, Beyonce's crossing over just like you did with Hootie and the Blowfish to your country music career. And he was like so not interested in talking about Beyonce at all. It was weird. And then the photographer kind of picked up on that he didn't want to answer. So he just kept asking him. It was wild. And that's what you need to do to be a good paparazzi.
Yeah, but the difference between, I don't know, Hootie the Blowfish songs are, the switch for Darius Rucker is not nearly as extreme as the switch for Beyonce.
Okay, that's
the
interesting.
Hootie the Blowfish music is way closer to country music anyway.
Yeah.
What country music is today than what Beyonce has been doing before switching over to country music.
Right.
Well, yeah, and the photographer he might as well have just started with, "Hey Darius, you're black.
That's what I was going to say too. Yes.
What do you think about Beyonce?"
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't pick up on
that
that.
may be why Darius was like, "Don't ask me that."
Wait, okay. Well, you
was a
either
huge
answer it
Darius
or I'm
Rucker
going
fan,
to
too.
Kane Brown right now. What's it going to be? Well, Kane Brown has always been country, but he's black.
Yeah.
So it's like offensive photographer,
Yeah, I
paparazzi.
guess.
We don't have Charlie Pride anymore. We have to. We need it from you.
What was the one with Big and Rich? What's that guy's name?
Oh, Cowboy Troy.
Cowboy Troy.
Yeah, we haven't seen Cowboy Troy since we went through the drive-through.
Rob's gonna roll out some Charlie Pride this morning and make me nostalgic for my dad all of a sudden.
Find out who that is.
Charlie Pride, kiss an angel good morning.
He was great.
Let her know you think about her when you're gone. That was a bad. That was not a good. That was not an
I
impression.
do know that song.
He was black, Rick.
Oh, he's black. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see color, sorry.
Well,
and then
that's racist.
John Cena's on OnlyFans, but not for the reason you think it's all to promote a movie. Don't buy into the hype. I think it is weird, though. He's got a lot of young fans. I think it's a weird move for John Cena. I don't like it. But those are a few things that are now trending.
John Cena's on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
That kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that this morning when I was looking at stuff.
It's his character, right?
Ricky Stanicki or something like that.
Okay. So Riggins mentioned the Kelly Rowland thing. You got to hear this because he's right. She's not handling it well, but it makes great fun for us next.
Get Ace and TJ anytime, anywhere, at your convenience with the Ace and TJ Show podcast. Available wherever you get podcasts. More Ace and TJ is next.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
All guests of the Ace and TJ Show stay at the Hyatt-centric Charlotte South Park. Beautiful rooms, incredible dining options. Book your room by calling 980-299-7123. It's the Hyatt-centric Charlotte South Park. The Johnson Group has been cleaning some of Charlotte's most prestigious businesses since 1985. Family owned and operated. Learn more at acetj.com/clean. It's first class cleaning with the Johnson Group. Attention Charlotte, treat yourself to a delicious meal that's made with fresh, seasonal ingredients and ready in just 20 minutes. Enjoy a fine dining experience without ever leaving your home. Head over to tableandtwine.com.
On your phone, on your radio, in your car, on your iPad, on your computer, and on the Ace and TJ Family app. Anytime, anywhere, for your entertainment. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Monday, we got something brand new for you. TJ's podcast starts Monday, as does Ace and Friends, another brand new podcast for you. So now you get the Ace and TJ show every day, plus TJ's podcast and Ace and Friends all coming your way through the Ace and TJ app, through our YouTube channel, Ace TJ TV, and much, much more. All starting Monday, and we'll be giving you more details. Follow our social media all weekend long. There'll be more coming up about that kind of stuff. What are you looking at?
We
Regan?
booked him busy.
I don't know
just figured out what this is
I
over here?
just figured out what that is, and that is terrifying.
There's on my desk, the off side of my desk, there are the entries for first quarter of the rest of your life that we've been going through, and there's almost 1,000, and so everybody's got to divvy those up this weekend and help me out with that. Little weekend assignment. Yeah. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, I had to print 2 per page as well, so that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a strong reader.
Well, luckily it's in really small font.
Right.
So that should help.
First quarter of the rest of your life is a contest through our charity. If you don't know, we're giving away $10,000 to somebody, but the goal is to change your life forever. That $10,000 changes your life and helps others in their life. So we'll see what happens with that, but that's kind of into the second round of that through our charity, Peyton's Promise. So Kelly Rowland is out and about promoting her movie that comes out on Netflix today. It's a Tyler Perry directed movie. And, well, this guy pretty much sums it up. She was on, it's a WGN in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Is that where she is? And she was on promoting the movie. And things didn't really go all that smoothly here.
If you Google your name today, there are 10 million stories about you and the Today Show of what happened. And almost every story is different. Are you able to tell us what happened with that and just get it out there?
No, because I'm so excited and delighted to be here to talk about the movie and nothing else. I love the Today Show, love Hoda, and that is it. But I'm so excited about Friday the 23rd. That's when Mea Culpa is out, and we want people to be excited about this film just as excited as we are.
I understand that.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
There's a million ways you could have responded to that and had fun with it, but I've seen them all. Yeah, they say there's a million ways. And if you've got a PR person in your camp, surely they've directed you to give you something to say other than, I'm just really excited about Friday. Listen, it's a Netflix movie. You're going to have to give a little bit to get a little bit. And she's not giving anything.
Yeah.
But what's she supposed to do? She doesn't want to talk about it.
That's not, I think you can have a funny little response without answering the question.
Yeah, but it's just
instead of seeming so icy cold, no, I don't want to talk about that.
And is this a regular member of the media, though? I mean,
yeah, but you want to promote your movie.
How long ago?
she promoted it. She just, didn't have, feel the need to bow down to some Marxist media member.
Listen, I don't want to get into it again because we talked about this last week and everybody was like, oh, she got hammered with questions about Beyonce. I watched the entire 5-minute interview. She didn't get hammered about questions about Beyonce. They talked about her movie. She asked her 2 questions at the very end and she was so icy and cold about it. I think she's coming off really poorly. Now, all this PR is great for the movie.
Sure, I would
agree.
I think she should say something. Look, it got weird.
Yeah,
I think it's all been blown out of proportion. It really wasn't that big a deal. Something like there's something she could say to kind of gloss over it and then keep going. So when I'm just, it wasn't that big a deal. What is a big deal? I'm excited about this movie that's coming out and blah blah blah. Some type of answer would have made it easier than sitting there going, no.
Well, I guess I'm looking at it from the perspective of knowing Kelly Rowland and knowing that years ago. We basically had a spark between us. And I think from that day forward, when she realized that I'm married and had no way of, taking that spark any farther than just a flirty interview, I mean, the whole trajectory of her life was changed emotionally.
That's fair.
So I think maybe she's had a little bit of bitterness going on ever since that day. What was it, 15 years ago or more?
I can say this much. When Kelly Rowland comes into a room, like you see her on TV and go, she's beautiful. Same thing with Jessica Simpson. You're like, Jessica Simpson is beautiful. And then when you're actually face to face with them, it's like, oh my gosh, I really wasn't prepared for how beautiful you are.
Yeah, and she looks great in this movie.
But it was like telling somebody about Jessica Simpson one day that like Jessica Simpson wasn't even like sexy, like so shockingly gorgeous that you're just kind of like, oh wow. It's the same with Kelly Rowland, like, oh my gosh, you're flawless.
Yeah.
Did this interviewer think that he was so special that he'd get the scoop from Kelly Rowland on this?
Well, I mean, in his
he's digging.
defense, even though he is a member of the media, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to try to get them to talk about the thing that's going on with the most activity in the public.
And he got into it in a good way. The question's not bad. Hey, if you Google your name, there are 10,000 different stories. Can you tell us what really happened? It wasn't a bad question, and it wasn't like a gotcha thing. It's a fair question.
Turns out talking about your movie on Netflix isn't that exciting. So, you give like a little bit, and that's why Rihanna was not good on your show. Because she doesn't give up anything. She's there to promote something that's flat and it's boring, and you're like, well, that was a waste of time. You gotta be a little exciting.
Yeah, you gotta,
give a little.
You gotta play the game a little bit.
Yeah, it's a game.
Play the game a little bit. I have run across something that I am in love with because it's one of those things that from time to time you'll see, and now you will never forget the rich person things that poor people do. Coming up.
Miss part of the show? Just download it. Get the Ace and TJ podcast on any platform. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities, and we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
Currents is Lake Norman's #1 lifestyle magazine. Every month, Currents brings you the latest news on what's happening in the Lake Norman area. They've been serving the Lake Norman community for over 13 years. See the latest issue of Currents now at lncurrents.com.
Should you buy? Should you sell? How do I present my house if I do want to sell it? All of those questions can be answered by the experts, and they can take care of you with the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty. The Temple team knows everything there is to know about selling, marketing, and buying houses. So get in touch with them today at acetj.com/Temple team. The Temple team at Keller Williams Realty.
Our nation's second president, John Adams, always slept on the left side of the bed. He believed this would increase his chances of having positive dreams and a more successful next day. That's why every mattress we sell here at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress includes a left side.
And for those that prefer waking up on the right side of the bed, our mattresses come with one of those too.
This President's Day, you can save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic sets. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Miss any part of today's show? Catch up anytime on the Ace and TJ Family app or wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Okay, I am so in love with this idea, but I've got to tell you the whole background that it's not really my idea. We've got a radio friend who lives in South Florida, and we exchange, ideas and stuff from time to time. And he pointed out they live in West Palm. Now, TJ, you know more about this than I. West Palm is not if you say Palm Beach, there's a difference between West Palm and Palm Beach.
Right. West Palm's not trashy by any means, but Palm Beach is like the Beverly Hills of South Florida.
It's all wealthy.
Right.
West Palm has some wealthy parts, but the super rich live in Palm Beach, not West Palm.
Rush Limbaugh lived in Palm Beach.
Okay.
I think that may be where Mar-a-Lago is too. Yeah.
So
I'm not sure.
Well, he points out that they live in West Palm, but he's got a couple of people that he works with that told him that they feel rich when they buy medical marijuana in bulk.
Ooh.
He also said his daughter is a nanny for a very wealthy family in Palm Beach. He goes, there's really nothing that is similar between their lifestyle and his. But they started putting together a list of the rich person things poor people do. And I think this is fascinating. Rich person things poor people do. Day drinking.
Yeah.
A lot of really rich people day drink. So do a lot of poor people.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably the most poor among us.
Yeah.
Like the urban outdoorsman.
Yeah. They're drinking.
Living next to a rapper.
Yeah.
Rich people live next to.
Oh wait, no, I don't get that one.
Rich people live next to rappers. You know, if you're rich and you live in a neighborhood and a rapper's rich, he lives in that neighborhood. You might live next to a rapper. A lot of poor people. Everybody seems to be a rapper.
Yeah, more like aspiring rapper.
Aspiring rapper would be better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eating cheese by itself.
Is that a rich thing?
Different type of cheese. Yeah.
Different types of cheese.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rich person things that poor people do. Going to rehab.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Rich person things that poor people do. Having a bunch of kids. There are a lot of poor people with 6, 7 kids running around. A lot of rich people with 6, 7 kids running around. Getting someone else to drive you around.
Yeah. That's a good one.
The difference is rich people probably own the car.
Yeah.
Right.
Or they're renting.
And hired the driver.
Yeah,
Poor person just like, hey man, I need a ride. Can you drive me around anywhere?
Yeah, one of them is out of necessity.
Right. So if you can think of any others, I'm so enamored with this idea now. The rich person things that poor people do. What would you have? At the Ace TJ Show. Hit us up. We'll see if we get any more that come next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ Show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Back again with our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, tell us about this cash out equity thing, instant cash, add water, and there it is.
It is. That's how it is. Instant equity. I mean, you do the application today, you could close today and get your money in 5 days. There's no underwriting. There's no appraisal. You know, I think didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what I did. Instant equity. It's very easy, and Richard walks you through the process. Find out more at homewithrichard.com. It's a new year, which means new you. No, not if you've got nagging pain. That means we want old you before you had that pain. And it's possible without surgery, without medication, without downtime. Thanks to Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic. I am a Neogenics client. I am a Neogenics lover because they fixed my left wrist. And you can get a free consultation right now. Call 704-727-6551 or online at acetj.com/neogenics. Neogenics.
Bradham Brothers offers heating, air, and electrical installation and service that you can trust. Their family business has served thousands of customers with honesty and a smile for over 50 years. Go to bradhambrothers.com to schedule service or a free estimate today.
Great food, great drinks, great service, and great atmosphere. You can find them all at one place. Fahrenheit on South Caldwell in Uptown Charlotte, 21 stories above the city. Get details and make reservations at acetj.com/Fahrenheit.
As a proven leader in managed IT services, CompuCom delivers innovative solutions designed for how you work today. They'll help you deliver results no matter where you are on your digital transformation journey. It's all at CompuCom. Go to CompuCom.com to find out more.
Create an unforgettable experience with the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com. Weddings, banquets, shows, expos, they do it all at the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com.
Available when you want, how you want, on the Ace and TJ family app. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Rich things rich people do that poor people do also. I think these are hilarious. Some of the examples we gave in the beginning: day drinking, having a bunch of kids, eating cheese by itself, getting somebody to drive you around. Yeah. That's my favorite one because it's so true.
I have one.
Okay.
Asking other people for money.
Yeah, that's a real good one.
Because if you're poor, you ask people to give you money. If you're rich, you ask people to give charities money and stuff.
Fundraising.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Somebody said Starbucks, and several people jumped in and said, "Oh yeah, that's what I was coming here to say that." And
You feel rich holding a Starbucks cup for some reason.
Well, you just paid
do you?
$8.
Do you feel rich when you hold a Starbucks?
Sure.
cup?
You feel not rich, but wealthier. You just feel like you're
Or elite.
fancier.
Is it wealthier or elite?
Elite. That's probably a better word for it.
Yeah.
I'm better than the people that don't have a Starbucks.
Right.
Do you feel more elite holding a Starbucks cup than say like a Dunkin' Donuts cup?
Yes.
Oh,
God,
it's
heavens.
easy to see that is, I think, way different.
Do you feel the same, Rob? I mean, you don't get anything from Starbucks, but would you feel the same?
Yeah, for sure. Like, they seem like they use higher quality ingredients and like fancier things. Like they have that new drink that has oil in it or whatever, and that sounds real fancy to me.
Yeah.
It is fancy.
But the coffee at Dunkin' Donuts is better.
Is better.
than Dunkin'.
I think so.
I agree.
But I don't go to Starbucks.
I think if your sign if your sign has an apostrophe over because it's Dunkin', I think it's not as fancy.
Political reasons.
Sorry.
He's trying to do work here, man.
I can't explain it. It's just it's the way it happens.
So when you actually go to Starbucks and walk out, let's say, you feel like, look at me, you walk a little taller, like you feel better.
I certainly don't shake my head like that.
Like, you're like, oh, look at me, I got a Starbucks. Everybody's got a. Hello, everyone. I have a Starbucks cup today.
Look at my hand.
I take it to another level is if you go to like an independent coffee shop with like cups that are stamped with like their logo or whatever, you think you're even better than the Starbucks people. You're like, look at those peasants.
Because that's a chain.
Yeah.
This is independent.
Yeah, you wouldn't know about it. They source their beans from a place that you could never find.
It's all about the beans. You got to get the beans.
Yeah.
Such a plebe.
I never knew your coffee buying was that important to you, Riggins, the way you break that out.
Yeah, I don't do that, but
Yeah. See,
Poor
I would,
people
I
do.
would never think of anything like that. I mean, products like that.
Brian
My
said,
coffee cup has Yeti written across it, and it comes up to the camera when I'm.
things rich people do that poor people do. Have a pool. Rich people in ground, poor people above ground.
Whoa.
I have seen, though, I've seen several. I know somebody with an above ground pool that it's awesome the way they set it up. They built a big deck around the whole thing. It's fantastic in their backyard. It's real cool.
Yeah. Are you sure it's their backyard?
Yeah, it's their backyard. I've been there before.
They're paying lot rent.
No, they're not paying lot rent.
Are you sure?
Is it the field from the school playground that backs up to their yard? Is it part of the airport?
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
All right, we are going to do the week in review coming up next.
Live on your radio and anytime you want on the Ace and TJ Family app or wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ Podcast and Radio Show.